So the central idea and the main idea in a speech are very similar. I started off with a couple of definitions for myself. They both sound very similar to me, central and main. I really had a hard time distinguishing between the two, but this little exercise definitely helped me. How are they different? How are they the same? Are they connected? So generally speaking, as we have learned in class, all speeches have one of three possible main points. And speech is either designed to persuade, to inform, or to entertain. And the central idea is a statement. It can also be called a thesis statement. This basically summarizes what your purpose is, what that is. The thesis statement or the central idea is something that it's very important to come up with when you are writing a speech, because it not only makes your speech more clear to the listener, but it's also going to help you in preparation to be clear and focused on what you actually want the point of your speech to be. Formatting this statement, as I've got here, helps the speaker to focus on the presentation, on what the main point is and not to get distracted. There are three elements that are needed when you are formulating the central idea of a speech. You have to consider yourself, your own interest, maybe some things in your background or experience that will help you determine what you're wanting to speak about and what your purpose actually is. It's also important to consider your audience. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to people that already agree with you? If so, then you might want to consider a different approach or a different topic. Thirdly, you want to consider the context or setting. How many people you're going to be speaking with, what's going on, what sort of a setting is it. That is an important factor. And then once you have the central idea or the thesis statement clear for yourself in your preparation, it is important to understand that thesis isn't actually stated. It's more for you as you write the speech, but the main idea is how this thesis is actually presented to the audience. So you know what your point is, but when you actually present the main points in the speech, that is how these two things are connected. The main points actually present to the audience what your central idea was originally. That's the connection. The introduction to the speech is very important. It should basically, because the point of it is to lead it to the main points. Your intro should be getting you to the main points. That's the purpose of it. The introduction should grab the listener's attention. It should state the main topic. It should help make that topic relatable to your audience. And you should also, in your intro, establish credibility. But most importantly, the introduction is getting you to the main point of the speech. The main point is any key idea you present to enable your speech to accomplish the purpose. So in order for your speech to actually accomplish what your purpose is, you have to be able to present those key ideas. The formula that I ran across on this website, eCampus Ontario, they gave a very simple formula. This formula will help you to put together your purpose statement, and you just fill in the blank with, what is my purpose? Is it to inform, to explain, to demonstrate, describe, define, persuade, convince, prove, or argue what, this is, what your purpose is, and then to whom, who is my target audience, and what is it that I'm trying to get across? What is my main point? As an example, if I wanted to give a speech about the benefits of freshly ground whole wheat flour, this is something I'm personally interested in. I could state my central idea as there are many benefits to eating bread made from freshly ground whole wheat. That's a pretty broad statement. To narrow it down to a more specific purpose, I could state the following. My purpose is to explain to the members of the audience the 3 key health benefits of bread made from freshly ground whole wheat flour. Just as a simple example. So what happens when the speaker is unclear about their central idea or main point? Clearly, it creates confusion on the part of the listener and frustration on the listener's part as well as the speaker. If I'm not clear in getting this across to my audience, they're going to feel like, for one thing, they've wasted their time. What was the point? I mean, I have personally walked away from many speeches before or presentations and been really confused. If someone had asked me, like, so what was the speech about? I would not have been able to really present that clearly. I think it's important to be able to walk away from any presentation as a listener and be able to summarize in one statement what that speech was about. And I feel like if my listeners walk away and are able to do that, then 1, I've been clear, and 2, hopefully my purpose has been accomplished.